You also get ratio. So we've got the bar chart, shows medals won for each country for the 2016 games. So that UK did very well. And we're going to calculate the number of gold medals won by the UK in that time. And then we've got a ratio question. So we'll talk about ratio after. We'll just look at our medals first of all. So for part A, I would be talking about gold, or silver, and our bronze. And what I've actually done is put a little dot which means ratio. And you'll see ratio pop up in lots of things in everyday life. Like measuring for cooking. You might do 1 cup of something for every 2 cups of something. When you add in sugar, 2 cups or 2 spoonfuls of sugar for every 1 cup. That's your ratio. We're not talking about things that equal each other. The number 1 equals the number 1. X equals 5. We're not talking about equals, but it's in proportion to. So in proportion to 1 cup, in proportion to 2 spoons of sugar. So it's kind of like, it's almost like an equal sign, but not quite. So you see it everywhere for ratios. A car, the ratio of, if you said wheels to cars, you've got 4 wheels for every 1 car. That's, it means in relation to, in relation to, similar to an equal sign. So let's count up, let's read off our scale for this one. So to me, each of these is 2, because we're going up by 10, and there's 5, so everyone's 2. So that looks like 17 for the bronze. So it's 17 bronzes. I'm just going to write that number in there because this makes it hard to read off. That's 17. That number up there is 40. So it means the difference is 23. Oops, 23. So I think the mistake here is a lot of people would have read that off and just said that that's 40, but it's not. It's 40, take away the 17. And then 40 up to, that looks like 62 for, that looks like 67. So that must be 27 gold medals. Okay, so we've done that bit first of all. And we're saying calculate the ratio of gold, silver, and bronze medals for France. So I just did that for, the answer here was just 27, but I just did it as a ratio. So that was for the UK. Let's do the same for France. So gold, silver, and bronze. So what did France get? Well, they got 14 bronze. So good for France. And again, we're going up from 4. This is more a graph question than a ratio question, but there is so many skills thrown in together in apps. That's going up by 18. And then they'll just count up to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. They seem to get 10 gold medals. So calculate the ratio of gold, silver, bronze medals for France. Answer in its simplest form. Okay, so I'm nearly there. Not in its simplest form. And again, read the questions. Tick off what you've done just about through the simplest form. So they're all even. They all divide by 2. So if you're getting 10 medals, 10 gold for every 18 silver for every 14 bronze, that's the same as saying, oh, I'm getting 5 gold for every 9 silver for every 7 bronze. Okay? The ratios, you can divide and multiply all of them by the same amount. Okay, divide them all by 2. It all stays in proportion in the same ratio. Okay, and that's our introduction to ratios. So let's have a look at another question. Have a little read at that. So there's a clue there, in proportion to. So what I would do here is I would say that we've got Jane, we've got Heather, we've got Laura, and we've got Kate. Very good. I'm just going to write down their ages next to them. So she's 4, 11, 9, and 6. And we've got been given money from their granny, presumably, or somebody, and it's in proportion to their ages. And Kate got 1950. So I'd run a line here. She got 1950. Pretty decent, yeah. So what did the rest get? So again, like I said, there's a relationship between all these numbers. If this is going from 6 to 1950, so say it was a nice easy one, say it was going up to 12, then I would say, well, if that's going up to 12, I've times it by 2, so I'll just times all of these by 2. Yeah, but I suppose right now the hard thing is that it's not 12, it's a trickier number. So what I would be saying here is that I've got 6 shares that are the same as this, so I'd like to try and work out what 1 share is worth. So if I say that 6 shares is worth 950, how do I get down to 1 share? Well, I'm dividing by 6. It looks like a 6 there, sorry. Divide by 6. So 6 into 1 doesn't go, carry the 1. 6, 12, 18, carry the 1. 6, 12, carry the 3, and then 5. So I know one share is 325. So if that's the case, then everything here has been times by 325. And that's all we do, 9 times 325. So just do your chimney sums for that. So you should end up with 2925 down here. And then I'll actually do this one, zoom out a little bit. I'll do the next one just to show you. So if I was doing 11 times 325, I actually would set it up like this. I would say 325 multiplied by 10 and multiplied by 1, FYI, and then 325. And then you're just adding those together, which will give you 3575. Yeah, 3575. But the chimney sum's a good method. You can break that up further for trickier numbers. You could say that that's the same as 320 and 5 multiplied by 10 and 1. You can do that, but it's a really good method for multiplication if you're not a big fan of your chimney sums. And then times that by 4 for 1300. And the question would say, what's the total amount she gifted? Well, I just need to add up all those numbers together for the total. So again, I'll zoom out a wee bit. But zoomed in for some reason. So the total amount is this bit in here. So the total is going to be all that added up. So I could do a big chimney sum for that. 3575. Yeah, but I'm sort of a bit lazy and just do it on my calculator. But you could just do a big chimney sum. Okay. The point is, when you're doing this, get your setup. So get the letters, the numbers, whatever the names, the kind of this bit here, and then your ratios. This is trying to be sneaky and make it sound a bit weird, but basically saying that's your ratios. If it's in proportion to the ages, there's your ratios. And you're saying, well, if Kate got this amount, so 6 shares is worth that, that's what that means. 6 shares got you this much. Well, 1 share just divide by 6. Yeah, and then everything has to be multiplied by that share, that share amount, and that's your total amount of money in there. Yeah, then we'll stop there.